run at Atlanta, but it's about getting to that spot again. Party Astronauts have played Pro League before with their older roster. And if they could find a way to make a dark horse run through the playoffs with the spike of OG Wizard and Aping, I think that would be a fantastic result for them as we're hopping into the game here. Anubis will not wait for us any longer. And it's Party Astronauts on the CT side as well to start it off. Fang gets the raid boss. No kit for the CT side, which is becoming quite a common occurrence, Nate.
Becoming quite a common occurrence as teams love that upgrade of utility across the map and or upgraded pistols. The dualies, as you mentioned, in effect for Fang. No upgrades for the T side, though. Instead, utility for them is the call. Smoke Molotov for both Moth and Tatazine. A slower one from the T side to start things off. Bentley is ready to throw a flash off contact in middle. With 2 players here to hold it. A third if you include the utility support. A walk down middle for the dualies to start things off. Landon spotting for info. Some damage done and a trade. Fang, Denoco dropped Landon. A quick trade, however, and a spot onto the second Tatazine. In the meanwhile, also getting control of B thanks to that pair of smokes. Bomb should go down sooner rather than later, and Landon is continuing to do the damage, dropping OG Wizard. Ben Lee through the smoke, low HP, tries to find something, but he's caught by Tatazine, leaving just peeping. He has a good spot on the back of Platt. Can he find all 3? Bomb is down on site, but again, the numbers are just simply against him. He'll swing for the first, but with a lack of a clean shot, that means the round is all but certainly falling away from him, and it does. E-Xolos LAZER take the pistol. 3 survive, no bomb plant required. And a good individual performance from Landon in middle, who found 3 on the round.
I feel like the spacing was off on that initial mid push too. Fang had no real trade there for him. And that's where things spiraled downwards for Party Astronauts. You have a 1-for-1 trade that then goes away from you. You don't have the refrag ability initially off that contact, and without that, it really creates a downward cascade in the favor of E-Xolos LAZER and against Party Astronauts, who are going to go in with a P250 and a flashbang. No investments at all, as LAZER are going to go in with a very heavy rifle buy, 3 Galils, an AK, and a MAC-10, going for a lot of utility as well. Playing for a mid-play, which is a great read to counter what Party Astronauts are about to do here, as Landon sprays away, only gets 1, but there is some support that the Zine, as the smoke blooms in his face, will spam away. Keep the AK out of the hands of the Party Astronauts at the very least. The bomb over towards A, which is where the T's will eventually make their way. And it's all about doing a little bit of extra chip damage to that T economy early on for Party Astronauts before the rifles blossom in their hands next round.
Yes, it is. Find ideally 3. That's when you really begin to do the damage. Even 2 would be okay, given the complete lack of weaponry. You can only Fang on that P250, as you mentioned. Utility coming in towards A. There is 3 players ready on this site. They all have USPs, but the numbers might be enough to get 1. MAC-10 at point does not cleanly get a kill. It doesn't take much damage either. First finally secured, second secured as well. Dink onto the Denoco, but he will survive in spite of all that damage. Only 1 left. That was Fang. He's holding over towards B now on a rotation middle, looking to recover that dropped rifle. But I believe Moth was throwing it out of the map. I saw him dropping Galils, trying to move it around. Not sure where he placed it. Fang isn't sure either, though, and that's what's most important. No upgrade for him available. That means he'll be going for exits. Might be given Denoco, who's holding this flank on low HP. That should be all he finds in this round.
I would have liked that Galil to be dropped recoverable for Denoco. I hope it is. They're going to have to start bailing out, though. And if Fang can get a lucky 2-tap, which he actually does manage on the Moth, there's that Galil for Denoco. Bomb will not blow up before the freeze time will begin. But still, it's a nice extra kill for Party Astronauts. They get 2 on the round, and with a $300 investment that pays for itself, that's a very solid result. They'll get the M4s out now. Is there a kit, though? That is something which lacks on this Party Astronauts buy. They also lack armor on OG Wizard. Now, is a glass cannon op necessarily the best call here? With OG Wizard playstyle, I love this call. Give him the big green gun. Let him take over the CT side early. Feed your young player. Build that confidence early. Get him comfortable. Allow the star opper to have the spotlight. And he's not a dumb player. He has a very good understanding of how the basics basics of pathing work. As you see that smoke blooms, he doesn't stick around for it. He'll play around the Molotov as well, using that to his advantage. He'll go for a quick peek, spot one through the wall, and dive into the smoke. Caught by Moth. That is a very good start. Unfortunately for him, too many players right there for the refrag. That's a great way to play around in that situation with the big green gun.
It's a risky play with no armor and no information on how aggressive they got, but he does not miss the flick. A very good shot to find the opening. Unfortunately, that victory is short-lived as he falls right thereafter. Still, as you mentioned, building confidence. And that op is recoverable for both teams at this moment. E-Xolos LAZER have big control, but the information is there for Party Astronauts. They rotate around. They have one holding in Temple. And the player pushed a main rather than trying to contend with the middle and camera.
I think Laser expect a re-peek and a re-aggression.
They do, but Peeping catches W1. He's trying to hold that angle and be far enough back that his head doesn't get exposed, but it's in the wrong spot at the wrong time. That's a huge kill to find, and now E-Xolos LAZER go for an audible in towards Temple. Infinite, he's abandoned this position and left Ben Leet to try and hold. Timing is everything on this take. 12 seconds left. The time has gotten away from them. Does the bomb go for it? Is this way it's too far gone? 7 seconds left. They're going to have to save. The Noko finds one, but with 4 seconds remaining, they're now stuck in Temple with players all around. Do Party Astronauts hunt? It looks like they will. Infinite one, not the second, but still that kill is huge to hamstring this economy. Ben Leet as second. Sure, they take a lot of damage, but the economy from E-Xolos LAZER is torn apart because of that loss after time.
That extra late kill, last second kill from Ben is huge on the economic damage. As instead of 3 players, 2 players surviving, it's just 1. And now you can see the reinvestment from E-Xolos LAZER. No utility for Tatazine barring that smoke. W1 is able to full invest, but it's pistols and armor for Landon, and nothing but a P250 for Denoco, who had $400 coming into this round. That's a prime opportunity for Party Astronauts to get back on the board and tie this one up. Shadow shows, Infinite holds his fire. Now is about to get overwhelmed, drops the Molotov to ward off a push. Counter nades raining in on his former position. And he backs away from it, allowing OG Wizard to support from camera. One crossing, that's the pistol again. Lack of a helmet on Ben Lee, keep that in mind, but here comes Peeping, holding the line with OG Wizard. 2 for the latter, 1 from the former. Infinite there as well, right around the corner, leaving it all down to W1 with new economic damage here, which he will not be able to accomplish. Ben Leet able to acquire his target and double dink down W1. 2-2 the score line, and 3 survive for PA on that full investment from E-Xolos LAZER. No bomb plan for the T's either, on a very early timeout coming from the Brazilian squad, as they don't have money, which makes it a bit of a curious timeout, unless they want to go all in, forced by some sort of cheese strat to catch Party Astronauts off guard.
I expected to see timeout early, especially after round number 3. When they let the timer get away from them and they lost 2 after time, very clearly something went wrong at a fundamental level. So they want to get a handle on that quickly. But as you mentioned, probably not the best time now. Yeah, wait for a bye. Use this round, in fact, as a start to that tactical timeout, because you're going to be on Glocks. Unless you have a very elaborate strategy, as you mentioned. This round should not bear much fruit. In fact, it should bear next to nothing. Maybe a kill. At absolute most, a bomb plant. But not much more than that. Should be a round where Party Astronauts can rest and build a CT economy. Ben playing an off angle early on up close B main needs to be careful, because the full brunt of this E-Xolos offensive is coming in his direction via contact play.
Little pick on the Ben, he's going to swing out, has support from Fang, who sprays wildly from E-Box, goes 1 for 1, so does Ben Leet, opening up a bomb plant and giving rifles over to the pistols of E-Xolos LAZER. This is not a strong hold on the B site from Party Astronauts, and they might be the team that wants to call a timeout after this, and considering the potential casualties they will sustain on this retake, does not look good for an early CT side. Moth will fall, the nade will do some more damage to the land. For mine, Landon's able to back away from the flying high explosive. Tatazine picks up the AK, has some utility. It's a Molotov. There is a smoke to extinguish that, and instead they'll actually go for a push. Tatazine 1, Landon going through, denies the bomb plant, and this actually might work out for a 1-for-1 again for Tatazine, because he's still trying to keep alive, keep the AK in hand. Peeping runs through fire, and he dies. Loss of life critical to Party Astronauts, and the CT economy is still in a bad spot. They won't have much left over after this round.
There's going to be a weaker buy off the back of a round that should be theirs cleanly. No excuse to go 1-for-1 on the B site against Glocks. I don't care if they were in a death ball of a full 5. You should be getting at minimum 3 for the price of 2. When it's quite literally Glocks coming up against you. E-Xolos LAZER with the kills. The full save bomb plant. They're able to get a pretty solid investment. They prioritize the op for Landon. He's going to walk A main with that as well. No op to rival him either because, as you mentioned, the economy of PA is quite low. And Landon is the one to open it up onto Peeping. Flash for Infinite. The peek is a response. W1. He heard the steps. Already on plat. Good trade as the swing comes through. However, E-Xolos LAZER are still ready to go for this play. And in fact, they do have a lurk in middle as well from Tatazine. Bomb's actually going towards B alone. I have a lot of questions for this round.
You echo my sentiments.
E-Xolos LAZER need to pivot quickly.
They have
leaving the bomb alone. Yeah, leaving the bomb alone B main is not great, regardless of if you have Canal. Looking middle. 1-2 secured. Fang drops the Noko in the meanwhile. The bomb is still a question mark, and that makes Party Astronauts very antsy.
Molotov misses, as Fang will be able to stay alive. OG Wizard makes his rotation in as well. Man disadvantage for the CT side, as the bomb with 28 seconds to go almost has to commit to this B take. That Dazine is ineffectual all the way on A. Only really going to come into play for a post plant. OG Wizard is spotted and tagged down by Moth. But again, keep an eye on the clock here as we tick down. 15 seconds to go. Fang over on plat will take down Moth and the bomb. Now Tatazine has the run, backing up with a Landon. Quick scope in, takes a dink, makes the play. In comes OG Wizard. He'll just have to run as the round is secured for Party Astronauts in the dying embers once again. A narrow victory for the CT side. No bomb plant means a worse off buy for E-Xolos LAZER. But given the fact that they know the CT economy is not in a good spot, don't go for a half buy. Go all in here. Go Lils. You have the op. Get a couple SMGs here. There's going to be loss of head armor on the Party Astronauts across the board. This is a prime opportunity for LAZER to scrap together a scrappy round and pick up something that will reset the Party Astronauts, who are going to be leaning heavily on that big green gun in OG Wizard's hands.
Second round that's gotten away from E-Xolos LAZER. Second round that they've lost due to time, and unintentionally so. They were not saving. They were going for the victory. Worrying signs for them on the T side early.
I think they were banking too much on Tatazine.
They were. Cobbled together by the op in effect for Landon as well to challenge the likes of OG Wizard. Tech 9s matched by MP9s. And M4 is matched by Galils.
I don't like the lack of utility that E-Xolos LAZER have, especially with Landon at 2400. You either commit or you don't, and they kind of sit on the fence here.
Committing, but they're making sure Landon has enough money in the round after next to buy an op. Like you mentioned, you should not be thinking that far ahead at this stage.
Exactly.
Especially when both teams are demonstrably T-sided. Good opening nonetheless, though. Peeping again caught as an opener in B main. Infinite second man, this time on site behind Cake. Find one and tags the second. He's now being shot, picked apart by the Noko, but he's surviving for the meanwhile. He'll get away into the corner. Yep, very good reposition. The Noko swings. The Noko misses. Infinite one, not quite the second, but Fang's there for a trade. The rotations are very timely for Party Astronauts. And that means it's a near complete shutout in the A main. Landon, good for one on his op, but not the second. OG Wizard wins the Opper's duel. And Party Astronauts potentially beginning to stabilize with the 5th round on the board.
5th in a row, but it's still been very shaky for the Party Astronauts as far as economy is concerned. Massive hold from Infinite, though. To be able to get 2 plus all of that damage around the cake is absolutely insane. And Fang coming through, cleaning up the mess. He had the easy job there. Infinite had to delay, had to do it all alone. And that's the veteran presence that Party Astronauts possess as well in Infinite and Fang. OG Wizards had a pretty good game so far as well. Time with Infinite kills. And that was a nice shot on the Landon, who's proven to be be very quick with it. Infinite and Peeping combine out in middle. Good nade and crossfire set up for them. OG Wizards op has not even been needed in the round, as A will be the target, though, of the laser pistol push. Smokes down to enable to cross through, but Infinite traces one behind the wall of obstructing vision. The nade is perfect to set up Peeping, and Moth will not be drawn to the flames, but he will still be squished nonetheless.
Should be. Maybe he'll find one. Nope. The flank from Fang's too good. 6 secured, and there's a round at long last that builds this CT economy. Give them some resiliency. That's what we've been waiting to see. A round where they can turn the corner, where they can look solid. Now they have a solid investment as well. E-Xolos LAZER the same as well. Op in their hand for Landon to rival OG Wizard yet again. Full AKs versus full A1Ss. The first fullest of full buys we've seen in this series.
Yeah, the first actual gun round. It comes here. Good flash to enable a push towards A main. Landon shot goes missing. He would have been traded out regardless. Infinite falls. Peeping still around. Cannot get the refrag. Down to 2 HP and will have to back away. Denoco at 26. Some information gained by Party Astronauts as the bomb sits back deep behind Rugs. E-Xolos LAZER 2 towards A main, 2 out in middle. And Party Astronauts pumping the brakes as well, not wanting to get too aggressive. Ben may go for a mid-info play. 3 players in mid now from PA, maybe attempting to cut the map in half, bisect it, and get the information they need. Ben clearing down towards Canal on the A main side as well. He's wary of a bridge play, or a mid play rather, and he'll get back in time, but the headshot from Tatazine will keep it level at 3 versus 3. Bomb recovered for the T side, looking to work it back towards A still, with that mid player in Tatazine to try and sow some chaos. I don't like how spread out LAZER are, though, at this stage in the game. With 3 players alive, they're still all isolated from each other. One bad kill can ruin their day. And now they start to consolidate towards that B side. W1, utility going to telegraph this. Peeping is so low. If he manages to find a kill, it's huge. But Tatazine allowed to creep all the way through Temple unnoticed, unexpected. Peeping able to find one, however, he's still low. And on side deck, gets a second kill, traced by Tatazine, but getting 2 kills, making it a 1 versus 1 for OG Wizard to come in and save the day. What a round from Peeping. An impact player, you called him, Nate. An impact player indeed.
Playing his positioning perfectly, knowing he has low HP, he has to go for a quirky, different, unexpected angle to get the shots, and he plays it perfectly. Pushing through that default smoke cross for B site plant from B main. Holding Pizza, fighting the first, falling back through it, dinking the second on Plat, trading out his teammate. And he was going to struggle to find one in most cases, yet he emerges victorious with 2. What a pair to find. E-Xolos LAZER without the bomb plant and with a round loss, again on a compromised investment. It's a half buy with a Mac 10, some Tech 9s, and a P250. Party Astronauts really coming into their own at the later stage of this first half. 7-2 is the record, and as we mentioned, both teams struggle on the CT side of this map. Party Astronauts normally with less than 50% of the rounds on the CT side already have the advantage and are looking for a lot more. 10-2 half is possible at this point. And E-Xolos LAZER,
even likely.
Yeah, they're looking lost, E-Xolos LAZER. They're not looking confident. They don't have much control here either as we cross that minute mark. A B split will be the call. And OG Wizard is ready to rebuke the take.
He is going to have to shotgun off this. Smoke's blooming all around him. He's going aggressive. Has Ben Leet's rifle to support 2. OG Wizard spots out 3. Leg shot into Tatazine. Will have to have some support from the rifle as a flood of T's will come on through. Smoke blows up. Ben does not spot anybody, though. His spray wild and will not connect with anything. It's a free bomb plant from E-Xolos LAZER if they want to go for it, and they will now indeed. That is a small victory, and victory number 1 as the retake comes through. Peeping 1, 2, not going to happen. Ben also falling down, gets himself a second before it's all up to Infinite. 1, sprays away, knows exactly where the last player is before that smoke fades. Tatazine's repositioned around the monolith. Will peek out wide and get the headshot onto Infinite. The explosion in on sight, the lack of riflery to rebuke the take, and some good pistol headshots at the close range retake angles. Gets E-Xolos LAZER their first and 7, a third on the board. But the money for Party Astronauts in such a bizarre spot. They're going to be on SMGs and an op for OG Wizard. This is just the nature of the beast of the CT side.
CT side economy is brutal. A couple players had to dip into their coffers, whether to refill utility or to rebuy if they fell in a round prior, and that just keeps it very difficult to fully reinvest, especially when your loss bonus is reset as it was. OG Wizards played very uncomfortable on the B side in the round prior, getting 2 leg shots but unable to actually get a kill proper. And Moth, double entry in towards B, catches both players getting aggressive. That's Ben Leet and Fang, both taken from the round. Bomb is deciding to switch back towards A, however. Very good read from E-Xolos LAZER. They know that Party Astronauts are on a compromised investment and likely to rotate very quickly and reactionarily. And so they double back towards A, which is now an empty bomb site.
And I think for Party Astronauts, they've called too, which will actually set E-Xolos LAZER up for a 7-5 half, which, considering the mid-round streak of 7 for Party Astronauts, is not a bad result for LAZER if you take that in isolation. If you don't look at the T-sided statistics for both sides, then, yeah, okay, LAZER not too bad at all, considering they started off well with 2-0 and then couldn't do anything for 7 straight. But overall, when you're looking at the grand scope of this half, it has been won handedly by Party Astronauts, able to survive round after round after round, a couple of confident ones late, but overall it was a game of attrition, and Party Astronauts came out on top in a very strong way on this first half.
Yes, they did. Save is the call at this point. They're already being hunted for. Interesting call for E-Xolos LAZER. Probably expecting that out for OG Wizard. Keeping will find 1. So E-Xolos LAZER won't hunt anymore. Last round of the first half. Perhaps a dropped MP9 from Peeping. Maybe even a dropped FAMAS if he feels so inclined. OG Wizard still has that op, as we mentioned before. FAMAS for Ben Leet. MP9s for the remaining trio. Kits in play. E-Xolos LAZER, an opportunity, as you mentioned, to really stem the bleeding and get an overall okay 5-7 scoreline. The question is, will it be enough, given their historic struggles on the defense?
If it's 7-5, there's always a chance, especially with the pistol round win. That's a great smoke blow, as Landon was catching OG Wizard, was expecting the boost. It was a gamble, a 50-50 play, whether or not it would be a boost or a little smoke explosion like that, and it's lost there by OG Wizard. Good setup there for the E-Xolos LAZER Opper to capitalize on it. Infinite will grab an op, though, the fallen one of OG Wizard. And if he is the secondary opper for this team, that'll be a bit of an interesting call, given his rifling prowess. 3 in middle now from the Party Astronauts, trying to regain control. Tatazine holding for it. Will there be a flash for it? No, he's going to get a dry face on 2. And Tatazine's rifling will not be undone by that. Infinite gets a free refrag onto him, but the damage has been done. 2 versus 4, and Fang only on an MP9. B site being targeted here. Utility flying in. Although around the smokes, Fang might be able to actually do some serious damage. Molotov's not going to force him away from his entrenched position. Back of pillar 2. Backstab onto 1. Can he peek around for more? They know where he is now, but he's able to escape onto the platform for a moment. Landon taking advantage of the chaos to plant the bomb. And the wild spray will not work out. Fang gets a reload in. 1 versus 3 now. Spots out 2. His connection on the MP9 will not favor him. And a 7-5 half to the Party Astronauts into the halftime break. Well, 7-5 in the favor of the Party Astronauts. Started off with 2 rounds to E-Xolos LAZER and ended with 3 for the Brazilian squad. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you here tonight again. W1 with a dual Beretta Raid Boss to contrast Fangs in the opening pistol. Dinoco has a kit though, so 2 players unarmored for E-Xolos LAZER, 2 smokes, 1 flashbang for the utility. Nade, 3 flashes, smoke, and a Molotov for Party Astronauts. They sprint down middle. Zine has to back away as there's a flood of T's coming around. 1 lurk towards A main and Infinite. And Peeping, running all the way through camera, has to deal with Dinoco. And Zine's actually the one to get a couple of kills up from the top balcony area. He's got a 3rd as well. Both pistol rounds going the way of E-Xolos LAZER as Landon chimes in. But it's Zine's hat trick this time. Landon's in the first pistol round that will get E-Xolos LAZER to within 1 round and a pretty much guaranteed tie ball game. As there's going to be no investment from the Party Astronauts here. They are broke as a joke with no bomb plan.
Hesitation catches them there. As Peeping on the entry, who was full flashed, he doubles back. He blocks everyone into the choke point of camera. And from there, they're picked apart because the rotations in A main come through. Bit unfortunate. A little bit hesitant, but coverable still. Party Astronauts have the advantage, albeit only blocks with a pair of deagles here. Not really likely to find much success. Party Astronauts did look a bit frazzled at the end of that last half. Trying to press forward with 2 players on random contact plays. 1 middle, 1 B main. Both felled in a 2-for-1 fashion. To lock things back in though for this CT side, they should be more, or this T side, excuse me. They should be more comfortable here on this side. I don't expect much from the pistols. They spread out early, trying to find something. Nothing goes their way, so now they'll group in middle. Need to maximize the success, the opportunities for these deagles on Infinite and Peeping in order to have a best chance at finding damage at the very least.
Zine's been very good in this game. Multi-kills have been his in plenty, and he will have nothing but death at the hands of a deagle. Landon only able to get 1 as well. The Glock from Ben Leet will trade him out as the Party Astronauts scale into what is an open A site, barring W1 out towards main. He's been spotted and removed by OG Wizard. Moth comes through, but he will not be able to stop the bomb plant. That was the main goal from the Party Astronauts here, who can now entrench themselves in post plants and try to hold out. Dinoco has been revealed as well. They know where both players are. Ben Leet low. Infinite has the M4 in hand. And Moth is just trying to pre-fire. Successful 1, but here comes Infinite. 1, but only 1. Dinoco gets the timing on the trade. But what a round for Party Astronauts. 4 kills, bomb plant here. The money for the CT side is not going to be good. And for E-Xolos LAZER, you have to be wondering if they're sweating a little bit here as the heat is about to get turned up with AKs and potentially an OG Wizard op on the other side.
Maybe an OG Wizard op, but I think he might prioritize a helmet instead. We'll have to see what he goes for. Looks like he's contemplating it as well. He actually goes for Kevlar and an op rather than the helmet. We'll see if that comes to bite him in this round number 15. As you mentioned, Party Astronauts are favored in terms of weaponry now. E-Xolos LAZER scrounge together what they can. 3 M4s, a FAMAS, and an MP9. Decent utility and kits in play. But some of those weapons are definitely going to be outclassed by the AKs. Unless some utility is used to tip the scales in their favor.
A little bit of utility would be good for E-Xolos LAZER as it'll be W1 self-flashing in. Doesn't spot anything, but utility will force him away. A smoke blooming, a Molotov as well. OG Wizard hoping for somebody to over-aggress towards E-Box, but nobody doing that just yet from the Brazilian side. Dinoco debating it, has utility in his hands, and he's actually used that. Molotov will force him back as Ben Leet will toss some controlling utility into E-Box, but so far it's just poking and prodding from the Party Astronauts with no actual commitment in either direction. Zine with the MP9 goes down swinging, although his trade is right there in the form of Landon. There is a problem. Trades favor the T's, and this will create more space, especially middle for Party Astronauts to use. They can bisect the map here going through the middle. And Dinoco's push is not going to see anything window. They're already far beyond that, and Landon is going to have to do a lot of work coming in through Temple side, they're watching for him. The off of OG Wizard might just find it, but it's W1 to get the hold, and 2 from Window. OG Wizard did landed in a second quick flick onto W1 to get the bomb plant down, but his teammate Infinite is very low. I don't even think they'll have time to bog down Law. This is Moth comes through. 1, and now only 1 more remaining. OG Wizard, an aggressive posture up towards Window. I don't know if Moth saw him. He did! What a headshot from Moth! And it is that lack of a helmet that comes back to bite the Party Astronauts. But the point can still be made. Would PA have been in that position if not for the OG Wizard off in the first place?
Hard question to answer. 2 kills for him. First catching the quick rotation in Temple. Second getting the eventual trade up in Heaven. But that was a massive double to buy time. I believe it was was it W1 in Heaven or was it somebody else? I'm not exactly certain.
W1.
2 kills going unanswered just in the corner on the A1S was a huge pair for him to find, and he even bought more time thereafter dancing around the angles with OG Wizard. E-Xolos LAZER reestablishing a tenuous lead, 8-7. Nearly breaking this T-set economy as well. Lots of compromises being made on both sides. If Amos for Danoko, lackluster utility. Landon does have the op, whereas OG Wizard lacks it on the other side, and Moth is ready to activate. 2 found in B main, 2 kills that go unanswered. And a 2-man advantage secured with a lot of map control now. Party Astronauts feel funneled in towards A. Rotations are already here from the CT side. The Galils are really going to struggle with the lack of utility to back them up. W1 finds another, landed in the 4th, the penultimate, leaving just OG Wizard without his characteristic op in hand versus 5. He has an AK, but he has to do a lot in this round. First 2-tap dirt nap secured, many more required. Swinging out, trying to isolate the duels, does not connect the second. Does have the bomb on his back, but he has no idea where everyone else is. He only knows where 1 or 2 are. Danoko holding from top middle as well for the press out of A main. Actually, Moth now rotating in to hold that spot instead. It's all on timing, and he simply doesn't have it. Moth peeks out, finds the kill. And E-Xolos LAZER now establishing their own lead. Only 4 rounds separating them from victory in this first best of 1.
Yeah, E-Xolos LAZER looking very strong on the CT side. Both teams actually looking stronger on the CT side, despite what the statistics would tell you. That 47.4% win rate for E-Xolos LAZER on the blue. Looking like a lie as they are holding up against a pretty strong Party Astronauts T side. Now for the Party Astronauts, I would say take a timeout in the next round. They don't have full rifles here. In fact, they don't have any at all, just Tech 9s and a Deagle, which still might be able to find some success. They definitely need to figure out what's going wrong, though, because some of those pushes that we saw on the CT side, especially in the last couple of rounds for PA, are kind of bleeding over into the second half on the offense, and it seems aimless, hapless right now. And they're just going to get plucked apart from the looks of things. But it does get 1. And Danoko, I'm not sure what he was waiting for. Maybe the reflank from Infinite, but has to be aware of the players up in mid as well. Ben Elite does get taken down. The damage sustained by OG Wizard is significant. But Infinite still has an M4, but he's caught around that smoke. Good timing for it at the Zine. And Peeping now, trying to find something with a Tech 9. Takes a dink with the USP and still is able to run down the op. And that's a pretty good weapon to have with 1 HP. Only problem, 1v2. Dies before he can throw the gun out. That was his goal. And so E-Xolos LAZER, if you go back the last half, Nate, have strung together 8 in a row.
8 in a row. And Party Astronauts feeling the pressure, as you mentioned, looking kind of aimless, getting plucked apart. They did find some good inroads after a disappointing start in that round, but still couldn't find the victory nonetheless. Yet to find a victory, in fact, in this second half. E-Xolos LAZER looking good, but can't let off the gas. Party Astronauts, this tactical timeout needs to be worth something. OG Wizard has his op again. There's AKs, there's utility. Good chance for them to finally get on the board in the second half. Question is, do they have the depth of playbook required? Because as we mentioned, they have 2 new players slotting in. It is relatively hard to rebuild the playbook, especially with the limited amount of time they've had as a full 5.
That's a very good point. And I feel like that tactical depth is something that hurt Party Astronauts on that CT side and is really hurting them right now on the offense. That op from OG Wizard, you want to see it shine. Another problem, too, for Party Astronauts is how to deal with that Dazine. 2.0 KD right now, 18 and 9. Has been an absolute menace. Moth and Lantern have been good, but I feel like that Dazine's kills have had so much more impact in the overall outcome of these rounds. And if you're Party Astronauts, he's been good on the T side, good on the CT side. What is the solution to Tatazine? How do you shut him down before he gets 2-3 kills before falling?
How do you stem the bleeding? How do you get the 1-for-1? Good nade on the Ben lead early on. He's down to 40. Noco wide. What fight going on? He get forced away, but the utility damage still favors him in the end. E-Xolos LAZER, 3 on A, 2 or 3 on B, 2 on A. No control middle. Very audacious call, but it's going to pay off at least in time being. Ben Lee lucky to be alive here in the corner. 4 HP as the Molotov is finally quelled. Noco wide. What fight going on? He get forced away, but the utility damage still favors him in the end. E-Xolos LAZER, 3 on A, 2 or 3 on B, 2 on A. No control middle. Very audacious call, but it's going to pay off at least in time being. Ben Lee lucky to be alive here in the corner. 4 HP as the Molotov is finally quenched. Dinoco in the smoke, however, finds 2. Ben Lee and Infinite down. Peeping 1 immediately traded. Fang 1 as well. And OG Wizard finally chimes in to bring it to even footing, but they're both rather low on HP. W1 and Landon also still have a good bit of utility on the belts for this retake. The issue is, Landon is very far from the situation at hand.
And it doesn't even look like he wants to go for the retake. The money for E-Xolos LAZER, despite their string of victories, is much like what we saw from Party Astronauts. It's not great. It's still in a very difficult spot, and with OG Wizard felling Landon, W1 now going for the full commit on the retake, is going to get blindsided by a Fang. It's not even considered the possibility of a player pizza, which is a bit of an oversight. And for E-Xolos LAZER, they lose a round, which puts them in a very rough economic spot. 2 players under the $2,000 mark, 1 player at $3,300, and only 2 players in that Dazine and W1 who could actually afford a full investment into this round. Party Astronauts get gifted around by OG Wizard's prowess, and that's exactly what the key to the game was for them. Get OG Wizard going and let him do his thing.
As you mentioned, the economy's in a far rougher spot than I would have expected. Dazine aggression down below, jumping straight through the middle window, finds 2. Trading out OG Wizard as well. It's a big name to find. Infinite being pressured now outside A main. It's a bullets exchanged. Fang to support, however, is the one to bring things back to even footing. It's a chaotic and aggressive round for E-Xolos LAZER. Their compromised investment means they're trying to get aggressive and catch Party Astronauts off guard, but it's to mixed success. Party Astronauts now slow things down. Infinite can get an upgrade here in towards Canal. Question is, where do they want to go after this? Find an AK for Infinite. Bombs outside B. Probably a B split is on the cards.
I think so.
This push in middle could catch them from the bridge if they aren't careful.
Yeah, do they watch window? That's the question. Or do they get under the window before the peaks come through? Fang's watching for it. I believe he spotted Landon across. Moth is going to come through next. Fang goes back to A main. PP took out Landon. That completely distracts Fang from Moth. Zera coming on through the window. Infinite does have control of B. The bomb will make it in. And I do like how Infinite creeps on through Temple with that smoke blooming behind him to kind of give that false sense of security to E-Xolos LAZER. Yeah, Moth's not ready for that at all. Freebie for Infinite, who continues the spray. He'll go upgrade to an A1S. Now they know where he is. That Dazine, good for the 1. 1 versus 1 against Young Peeping. New addition to the Party Astronauts versus a veteran player from Brazil looking for the 4K. Peeping denies it. Great 1v1 call from Peeping and some spray going on from him as well. I wonder if there's been some words exchanged between these two sides. But either way, Party Astronauts claw 1 back, and that will reset the E-Xolos LAZER economy, all but ensuring a tie scoreline heading into round number 21.
Getting some BM. Some exchanges. I was very worried there at the end in the clutch in the 1v1
Mm-hmm.
if Infinite had given it away, because he spammed the body and then just ran around the corner with an M4 in hand, trying to ego peek to get the information. And sure, he got the information, but there's still so much time left on the clock. I almost felt like he might have been served better to double back and play the 2v1 instead. Full USPs with 2 flashes for E-Xolos LAZER. They're in towards middle. Party Astronauts, though, a clear direction in mind. They're going to go towards B with one player splitting through E-Box. E-Xolos LAZER. Call is going to be to go through Temple. Question is, will Party Astronauts be able to rebuke this cleanly, or will the numbers game simply overwhelm them like it did in the first half with the Glocks?
Nate, I do pose you a question, though. What region are we watching right now? Let's hold the phone real quick as OG Wizard sprays down 2. Ben lead falls, beaming doubles up as well, and he'll get the hat for 2. Great flashbang from Infinite to support as the round goes relatively cleanly for PA, and we had tied things up heading into round 21. It'll be a buy-up without the op for Laser, barring a glass cannon, which they will not do. But back to my previous reasoning, Nate. Do you expect anything other than ego peek in the NA?
No, but I didn't expect something that egregious. That was quite the play. I think he was expecting the player to come through
Main
E-Box
or CT?
or main, and so he was trying to just simply confirm control and go from there, but even then it felt a little bit too aggressive. And defend those you mentioned, and W1 has a rifle in hand, catches a double in a main. Ben Lee and OG Wizard trying to up the pace. They're both rebuked, and there's no trade either. Thinking will get control of middle in the meanwhile. It's going to be a very fast split towards A, but now they're kind of stalled out, and with Landon pressing the smoke, finding a third, things become even more awkward. Fang jumping to the smoke, finds 1, finds 2. Okay, the Noko caught as well, but Fang on low HP should not be long for this world, not with the A main players doubling back. He gets a timing onto the third, and now things get interesting. He knows W1 is likely here as well. Party Astronauts might have found a way off the heroics of Fang to secure this round in spite of losing 3 before they get on the board. Fang holding middle. 2 angles to worry about. Wise to it. Peeks for the 4th. Can't quite get it. But Infinite is in a very recoverable spot now. The issue is he has a Galil, but they both are one-shot headshot. No helmets on either. And Moth Walking's caught on a timing. Infinite finds that. He knows W1 plays towards A, and so he'll race towards B instead. Heads up play from Infinite. And that will at least guarantee the 1 versus 1 post-plant situation.
And as you astutely mentioned, no helmet for W1, who walks through middle towards B main. Infinite making his way there as well. Reading W1 like a book. Knife out, shift up, gun through, peeks, crouches, looks. Shoot! Infinite! Headshot connected! He did everything wrong and still won the fight! Saw the arm, turns away, gets sprayed down to 1-shot HP, flicks and hits a miracle shot to give the Party Astronauts the lead, reset E-Xolos LAZER again, and the heroics of Fang, 3 HP finding the 3K. Timeout definitely needed for Party Astronauts. They did everything wrong in that round and somehow still won it, thanks to some great individual play from both Fang and Infinite. But holy moly, did Party Astronauts not deserve to win that round.
No, they didn't. Not when they lose 3 without finding 1.
Or even damage.
Yeah. Very big individual play, specifically from Fang. Sure, Infinite did well in the clutch, but still he nearly fumbled the bag at the very end. And we always are very cautionary about the lack of helmets, but rarely does it actually come to bite someone. It has come to bite somebody 3 times in the second half. The first time was against OG Wizard on the op up in heaven post-plant. Second and third time were both in that round when Infinite found 2 one-shot headshots on the Galil. Massive boon for Party Astronauts as they now maintain the advantage and the momentum. Again, break the economy as you mentioned. They should have a 12th off the back of a massive upset round victory. Aggression in B main again on the cards for E-Xolos LAZER. They've done this multiple times and it's had good success. It yet again gives them good information. They can gamble stack towards A. The question is, will they rotate quickly enough? Feng drops Tatazine. He was lurking in the mid smoke. The rotation is here in time for E-Xolos LAZER at this point. Number 3 and number 4 will be here. It's going to be a full stack on A, and Party Astronauts, are they ready to unseat these players? The first is up close. Swing comes in. Infinite finds that spot. The second take good damage done. The nade finishes him off. Second 2 are both spotted. A good team kill from Infinite. Bit of brotherly love, but that's the only casualty in the round. 12-10 secured. Party Astronauts looking to put this first best of 1 to bed in regulation.
Yeah, that was a textbook cleanup on the anti-eco from Party Astronauts, barring the team kill, but even then, that's a lineup. It's chaos, pandemonium on the site take, and it's bound to happen sometime or other. I don't think Peeping's going to be too mad about it. He's got his gun. Everybody on PA has guns. OG Wizard has the op. It's a full buy from E-Xolos LAZER as well with decent utility. Only 1 kit. The lack of a helmet shouldn't matter unless it comes down to pistols, which are available for Infinite, Fang, as far as upgrades are concerned. Landon's op. Out in middle. Smoke coming through. Molotov. Textbook mid-play to get control. Ben, textbook E-Box Molly. Countered away. Landon peeking behind the Molotov. Everything going as you would expect. Fang is going to be flashed and smoked in here. Should have the freebie on to Landon. Trade it back instantly, but that's the op gone. And a good start for the Party Astronauts here, who get some more mid-control. Mollying Tatazine back away from the camera. And now Ben lead 1 in almost a second as he tries to charge into B. Runs forward in front of the flashbang. Still half blind. Kitten Moth. There was only 1 spot he could have tried to hide, and the flame will find Moth in the end. Bomb goes down on B. Still 1 to cut off the rotation in Infinite. Getting all the sound cues, all the information. Lets them both drop. 1 for free. Knows the seconds in the water. Maybe a watery grave for Tatazine. Indeed, it's OG Wizard to help out, and Party Astronauts able to clean things up. A very streaky performance from the Party Astronauts. As a matter of fact, Nate, they won all of their rounds in bunches. 7 in the first half, 6 in the second half, all in succession from one another.
Very streaky. It was touch and go. In fact, I was very worried there a moment or two, but they still get across the line in the